Letting creativity flow, even when it doesn't make sense, is the key to unlocking new parts of yourself. Come on a journey with me as I show you some highlights from my process of creating these 3 stunning Peony Burst mini paintings. I started with some rough layers of acrylic using a small palette knife. This is a new technique for me, and whilst it left me feeling a little unsure about where this was headed, it also felt like a curious new beginning as I slathered on layers of soft, fudgy, thick acrylic. I chose sky blue and some white and rose madder highlights. I kept it simple, knowing that colour was to come in the foreground later. I then used bubble wrap to create some texture with green and yellow paint. My intention to resemble foliage and specks of leafy green in contrast to the purple haze background. Using bubble wrap in this way is freeing and creates delightful, unexpected patterns with varying opacity. It's a real joy to use bubble wrap like this. And I really like the delicate yet fun texture it adds to my paintings. I continued to layer green and white layers of interest, this time splattering the paint at random onto the surface. This is a great playful energy transfer as you let go of control and discover new little messages in the painted surface. I knew I wanted to add some flowers to these abstract backgrounds, but I wasn't quite sure exactly how I was going to do that. I knew that I wanted to try something different and not paint the flowers in exactly the same way as I usually do. In my head, before I started, I wanted to create a new exploration featuring more abstract elements, trying to find a freedom in painting more freehand and starting with less realistic intentions. But as you'll see, what actually happened was a merging of fun abstract elements together with a more painterly version of floral blooms. I believe I've added a lightness and sensual energy to these flowers, which I can sometimes miss in my art when I focus too much on making each flower as good and as perfect as it can be. As I layered in details, smudging and blending, using the more abstract first layers on the petals to support light and shade with less effort and more ease, I learnt something new about the way I paint from this process. I leaned into letting go of perfection and trusted the process more. As an after effect, I found ease and my process became efficient and faster, more so than it's ever been before. each layer helping the petals to pop just a little bit more, while still retaining a luminous glow from that first abstract layer. Adding in finishing touches, little tiny dashes of yellow to bring the flower centres to life. And then finally, painting the sides a metallic gold, one of my favourite finishing touches. You could leave the wood grain, but I actually really love how the metallic gold just gives these paintings an elegance and luxury to finish them off.